Hello friends, I am Mrs. Trusha Shangrapawar from Shankara Ursal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research Center, Kharadi, Pune. Today we are going to discuss about the topic solubility enhancement. Now let us understand the learning outcomes of solubility enhancement. There are 4 learning outcomes. So, the first learning outcome is to understand the difference between solubility and solubilization. Second learning outcome is to know the relation between solubility and bioavailability. Third learning outcome is to understand the need for solubility enhancement. And the fourth learning outcome is to learn the techniques of solubility enhancement. Now, moving towards introduction, need of solubility. Therapeutic effectiveness of a drug depends upon the bioavailability and ultimately upon the solubility of drug molecules. Solubility is one of the important parameters to achieve desired concentration of drug in systemic circulation for pharmacological response to be shown. Currently, only 8% of new drug candidates have both solubility and permeability. So, any drug to be absorbed must be soluble or present in the form of an aqueous solution at the site of absorption. How solubility increases the bioavailability? As solubility increases, dissolution increases, which ultimately results in increased concentration of drug in systemic circulation and hence improved bioavailability. This is biopharmaceutical classification system to understand the high and low drug solubility as well as drug permeability. Here all the drugs have been classified into 4 classes. Class 1, high solubility, high permeability. Examples are verapamil and propranolol. Class 2, low solubility, high permeability. Examples are aspirin, valsartan. Class 3, high solubility, low permeability. Examples are acyclovir and captopril. Class 4, low solubility and low permeability. Examples are Taxol and hydrochlorothiazide. The BCS was introduced by US Food and Drug Administration to assess oral drug products. Now, expressing solubility and concentration. With this table, we can express the solubility and concentration. The drug is very soluble when one part of drug is soluble in less than 1 part of solvent. The drug is freely soluble when one part of drug is soluble in 1 to 10 parts of solvent. The drug is soluble when one part of drug is soluble in 10 to 30 parts of solvent. The drug is sparingly soluble when one part of drug is soluble in 30 to 100 parts of solvent. The drug is slightly soluble when one part of drug is soluble in 100 to 1000 parts of solvent. The drug is very slightly soluble when one part of drug is soluble in 1000 to 10,000 parts of solvent. Similarly, the drug is practically insoluble when one part of drug is soluble in solvent more than 10,000 parts. Now, which factors affects solubility? Temperature. When solution process absorbs energy, then temperature is increased and solubility will also be increased. If solution process releases energy, then solubility decreases. Pressure increases solubility only in gaseous solutes. For solids and liquid, change in pressure have no effect on solubility. Nature of solute and solvent also affects solubility. Particle size. Particle size decreases, surface area increases, and hence greater interaction with solvent and increase in solubility. Molecular size. The larger the molecule, the less soluble the substance. Polymorphs. Different polymorphs shows different solubilities. Polarity also affects solubility, as non-polar solute molecules will dissolve in non-polar solvents and polar solutes will dissolve in polar solvents. How process of solubilization occurs? The process of solubilization involves the breaking of interionic or intermolecular bonds in the solute, the separation of the molecules of the solvent to provide space in the solvent for the solute, interaction between the solvent and the solute molecule or ion. Step 1. Hole open in the solvent. In the step 2, molecules of the solid breaks away from the bulk, and in step 3, the freed solid molecule is integrated into hole in the solvent. This is how the solubilization takes place. So by looking this, it is now clear that solubility is very important as far as formulation and development is concerned. Now, dear friends, pause the video and write in your notebook that how will you improve or increase the solubility of poorly water soluble drugs. Well, I think you must have written. So, here are the techniques by which you can improve the solubility of poorly water soluble drugs. The techniques namely are particle size reduction, hydrotrophy, pH adjustment, spray drying, salt formation, solid dispersion, inclusion complex formation, use of surfactant, supercritical fluid recrystallization, sonocrystallization, neutralization, microemulsion, self-emulsifying drug delivery system, liquid-solid technique, high pressure homogenization. So, by using any of the technique, you can improve the solubility of drug. So, these are the methods used to enhance the solubility of poorly water soluble drugs. By the review of this presentation, we conclude that Solubility of the drug is the most important factor that controls the formulation of the drug as well as therapeutic efficacy of the drug. Hence, the most critical factor in the formulation development. So, because of solubility problem of many drugs, the bioavailability of them gets affected and hence solubility enhancement becomes necessary. It is now possible to increase the solubility of class 2 poorly soluble drugs with the help of various techniques as mentioned above. As increase in the solubility will increase the dissolution and absorption of the drug, which ultimately increase the bioavailability of the drug with less GI irritation. Thank you everyone. If you have any query or doubt, you can email me on this email address. So thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you.